Hey, how's it going, everybody? And welcome to another exciting episode of Channel X. Happy weekend, everybody. We're back in the swing of things. Here we go. And as always, I'm Tom Dog all day and Tom Dog all night. Woo, baby. All right. So, we're back. We're back after the week-long special there. And I hope everybody enjoyed that because I had a lot of fun doing that. And surprisingly, no errors, so that was good. We had a lot of fun, and hope you all get an opportunity to see what I had to say about all of E3. If you haven't checked it out, it's on the YouTube channel right now that you are watching right now. Before we get things started, let's give off the shout-outs, the plugs, all that other good shit out of the way. Starting with Gaming Pros and Otherwise and Gamer Geeks over on Facebook. If you have not yet checked them out, do so. It's awesome, and you'll have a good time as much as I do having a good time with them as well. Be sure to follow them on Facebook and tell them Tom Dog sent you. Also, gonna give another good shout out to my good buddy Josh, who I'm sure is probably watching, and hopes that you all tune in to Absolute Talk. His podcast is on, starts up every Sunday, and it's available on iTunes and the Podbeam app. You can also go on absolutetalk.podbeam.com. Podbean.com, not Podbeam. And you'll be able to get to hear yours truly in a podcast I did a couple weeks ago, and we had a great time with it, and you'll have a great time listening to it. So again, that's Absolute Talk with Josh Albert, and you can go on your iTunes right now or download the Podbean app, or you can check out the website at absolutetalk.podbean.com. Also, a big shout out to my good friend Jen. What's up, Jen? Hope you're watching too this evening. And special shout out to my good friends Marissa and David. What's that? Hope you're having a nice, wonderful weekend and a relaxing one at that. So, alright, so we're back in the swing of things. We will be back on Thursday, but I just want to get this relatively short episode out of the way because we need to do so. And also the plugs. Let's not forget about the plugs. Not the hair plugs, because we all know I don't need them. So, big shout out to my good friends over at Loot Crate, lootcrate.com. If you have not yet subscribed to their wonderful subscription service, do so, because you're going to miss out on some awesome stuff. And this month is colossal, so you gotta hurry up though, because the end date is coming really soon, and then that means you'll have to check out my unboxing on the YouTube on the channel that you are watching right now.
Yep.
So definitely do so, because you don't want to miss out on it, because like I said, this box is going to be colossal. So lootcrate.com is your place to go. Also, don't forget to check out funko.com with their awesome subscription stuff as well, including the Marvel Collector Core, the DC Legion of Collectors, the Disney Treasures, and of course the ever so popular Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty. Do not miss out on these wonderful items. You don't want to miss out on it because these boxes are awesome. Um, also, this episode is brought to you by M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Trade in your old video games and consoles, from retro video games, accessories, and systems. DVD. You can also trade in your DVD box sets and Blu-rays. Also your sports cards and novelty items, as well as wrestling collectibles and autographed items spanning from sports, wrestling, and actors. For more information on where they're located here in the Connecticut area, and you happen to be in the Connecticut area, you can check out their website at mjvideogamesandcollectibles.com. Also, there's a list of events waiting for you as well too. So if you do happen to be in the Connecticut area, you will be entertained, because we all know that that's the only entertainment that we have here, aside from the Palace Theater, the Warren Theater, the Seven Angels Theater, and the Oakdale. But other than that, that's the only and of course the ConnectiCon and ComiCon, which is spelled with two N's, not one. So I'm pausing a little bit. Dead air, 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 dead air. So, also, this episode is brought to you by Shebean. My good friends over at Shebean. Come on, where's that can? See, I'm trying not to drop the Britney Spears can, which I probably will have to move. Okay. Shebean, home of the Alpaca Blanca. Nice, awesome beer. Love this New England IPA. And you can check out their wonderful website over at shebeanbrewing.com, or you can follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or the Untapped app. So definitely want to check those out, and you don't want to miss your opportunity on those, because those are awesome. Okay, so this is going to be a relatively short episode, and so who knows? It could be as short as the E3 special. So, but yeah, it was I had a great, as I said, I had a great time doing the E3 specials and everything, and I'm looking forward to continuing that tradition, as we always do here on Channel X. It's always been a tradition, kind of like Christmas. We all have our traditions, and our Christmas traditions. But to me, this is my Christmas tradition, and that's Ethan. Bringing up some good events of E3. And this year was a little bit different on my end, because for the first time I covered all of it. I was like, and when I said one show a day for the E3 special, I did not mean it, because I went 7 straight days of bringing you some really good insights of what's to be expected at E3, and there was a lot of, it was a lot of fun. I had a great time doing that. And so definitely check that out on the YouTube channel that you are watching right now, hosted by yours truly. And you will have a great time with it as well. Looking forward to another year, next year, for 2019. definitely looking forward to seeing what's going to be expected, and we're gonna have, and this is gonna be a lot enjoyable than what we had this year. So Chris Hardwick was in the news, and but before we get to that, a little bit of a Stan Lee update going on here. As many of you well know, there's been some controversy going on. Well, it is involving him, but not perpetrated by him. Stan Lee said to be having some being abused by his assistant, and it was pretty crazy and everything. But Stan posted a video not too long shortly after that, and there's been some concern, but in the long run, I just hope that Stan is okay and everything. We wish Stan the best, man, because he is suffering a lot, and we don't want to see nothing bad happen to him. Because we all love the guy. He's nicknamed Stan the Man, as we all call him and everything. So big shout out to Stan, and Willie, just pull through. Definitely, we're all here for you. But anyways, going back to Chris Hardwick now. It has been a pretty crazy 24 hours, to say the least. Apparently, Chris Hardwick's ex-girlfriend is opening up about some abuse that she was suffering in the hands of Chris Hardwick, but not even mentioning his name, which I find weird. But at the same time, everybody knew who she was dating, so it didn't take a rocket scientist to put two and two together. So, and to be quite honest with you, it was pretty crazy. So in light of everything, he is. It was announced earlier today that in light of what's been going on, all forms of media that he's been doing, he's no longer going to be affiliated with. The Talking Dead series, which is right after, immediately, which is on right after the Walking Dead. So it's basically stuff that they talk about right after. I believe he has a podcast which he's also been pulled from. Also his web show, which is kind of like Tosh.0, but that's been pulled. And any content that he had while working on the Nerdist is also pulled from the Nerdist website. So this is a really huge deal, and I don't know, and and of course Chris is denying allegations on it, so but if she was being if she's being abused, don't you think that she could have left him at the time? I mean, I know that that the pain was still lingering at the time and everything, and that's that's understandable, but you know but with all the stuff that's been going on with celebrities lately, with the whole with the whole Me Too movement and everything, nowadays you got to be very careful on what you say and do, and if you're trying to make it in Hollywood, because a lot of that stuff nowadays is gonna come back to haunt you, whether it wasn't your fault or not. It's just you don't want nothing to be scrutinized later on, and then all of a sudden, if the facts are true, then a lot of people are going to start hating you, and then you lose your job, and then the past comes back to haunt you even more, because maybe there's some other dirt that nobody doesn't know about that's coming out of the woodwork, that sort of thing. But it's pretty crazy out there. It's pretty crazy, but but now it's not safe to be it's not safe to be a celebrity anymore, because with all these allegations going left or right, whether it's sexual related or domestic abusal, it's pretty tough, and I don't want to wish that on I don't want to wish that on anybody, especially those actors whom I hate. So, or a YouTuber for that matter, I don't want to wish that on anybody. But but speaking of which, I'm hearing rumors that PewDiePie is leaving again for 6 months, and I've grown not to care. I've grown not to care, because everybody knows where I stand on PewDiePie. I kind of left it alone after I did a rant about him last year, with that whole issue when he said a racial slur to a gamer during a live stream. And yeah, it wasn't on YouTube's dime. The fact that it lingered out there didn't help the case much. And and a lot of you could say, it's like, well, yeah, it didn't happen on YouTube's dime. It's like, yeah, but you have to understand that doesn't matter. See, what nobody fails to get is that when you're out there Whether it's, if you're in front of a camera, you have a responsibility to A, not bullshit your fans. I'm looking at you, Mr. Boss, for the win. Um, and Fernando. That, you know, if you're gonna have like, if you're gonna, you know, do something, you know, you could make it, you can make it exaggerating as you want. You can exaggerate it all you want, but when it comes to clickbaiting and everything like that, a lot of people say, a lot of people do hate clickbait, but yet they still click on it, and it's like you're feeding into the habit, you're feeding into the, to the habit, and if he said, Fernando definitely comes to mind because he's like the all-time king on when it comes to clickbait because he's like, he'll pick up, he'll because he's still pushing Grand Theft Auto 6 coming at, that he has it, and he's like, oh yeah, I got it, dude, it's Grand Theft Auto 6, and I'm like, really? I mean, really? It's like, and plus also, if nothing's confirmed by Rockstar, don't assume that something's going to happen. Just because that there's just because that there's leaked information that's being brought up by various leakers out there. A lot of times you can't take their word for it because a lot of times that stuff isn't true, and it's like it's like that's why when I do. And Grand Theft Auto 5 is like a perfect example because, everybody assumes that Grand Theft Auto 6 is already out. And it's not. Number one, if it was already out, there would have been there would have been some Newswire links, some Newswire pages all over the over Rockstar's website. And that's not happening, you know. And it's like, it's bad enough that they're just showing off a picture that's not meaning anything, and everybody's assuming that it's new DLC. And, well, actually, Mr. Boss is, but nobody, it's not confirmed, it has been confirmed by Rockstar. Just because that they're going by, just because Rockstar posted one little picture without any detail doesn't mean nothing. Doesn't mean nothing. Okay, big deal. 4 artists are going to be providing music in the GTA 5. Is it going to be a radio station? We don't know. Is it going to be a form of a new DLC? We don't know. We don't know the real story until Rockstar confirms it. So, shut the fuck up and move on. That's all I gotta say about that. And I'm like, you can be. I mean, yeah, you can ask. It's like, could this mean there could be a possible DLC coming out? It's like, we don't know. It's like, we're only going by what's shown by the picture. But if you look at Mr. Boss's videos, he's like, oh, this could confirm that there's a DLC coming out. It's like, it has been confirmed because of the fact that Rockstar didn't say nothing. All they did was show a picture. It's like, and not give a graphic detail of what that could possibly mean. And to be all fair about it, Rockstar has been hush about a lot of things lately. I mean, a lot of things lately. And to be quite honest with you, it doesn't make a load of sense. Which reminds me, apparently he was bringing up the Jester Classic, and being delayed and everything like that, and he was already reviewing the Jester Classic over a mod. And to be quite honest with you, if he done he hasn't really done his research when it comes to vehicles like this. He says it comes from the Toyota Supra, but he did one complaint. He made one complaint about the car that's not even out, that he doesn't like how the trunk is. He doesn't like how the trunk is looking. And what I mean by that, and what I just did just now, was one of the problems, because the headlights, as you see, aren't where they're supposed to be. In his eyes, they're not where they're supposed to be. But if he actually looked at the Toyota Supras, the original one from the early '90s, you would tell that that was the same design, and Rockstar was spot on with the Jester Classic when it comes to their boot space. Okay, Mr. OCD. So, bottom line, do your research. And he was complaining that there's no liveries on the car. And first of all, how do you even know that there's not even liveries on the car? And like, what's to say that, who's to say that there isn't? It's like, nobody knows if there's going to be liveries on this vehicle. Nobody knows. And if there are liveries on the vehicle, who cares? And if there aren't any, again, who cares? It's like, to me personally, the car looks fine without it. And he was also complaining about the one of the headlight caps is missing, and I'm like, first of all, you're going by a modder's perspective, okay? You're looking at a mod that some modder made on his account and put it in the game, and not have any cosmetic, and have some cosmetic features, and have a cosmetic feature missing from the game. So when a car is not even, when there's something that's not even out yet, review a car that's not even out yet. Is he like losing his fucking mind? I mean, really. And I mean, yeah, I'm guilty of subscribing to his channel, and sometimes, there are some things on his channel that I find enlightening. I do enjoy some of his work. For example, whenever there is a new car that comes out, he does do the he buys them and he does the customizations on them. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they are enjoyable, but then and then of course he reviews them, and then he's like, oh, I was like, oh, you definitely got to get this car, but race, but if you're gonna race in them, don't expect to win. I'm like, who gives a shit? And I was like, I mean, obviously, if you're gonna buy a car, you're gonna buy a fast fucking car. I mean, that's technically a no-brainer. And you're gonna do whatever it takes to win. You're gonna max out the mod list and make it work to your advantage, and that's perfectly understandable. But really, come on now, come on. Come on. Come on. But I don't know. But anyways, going back to the whole, this PewDiePie fiasco. I really don't care. It's like, but again, everybody has my everybody knows on how I feel about it, and I kind of left it alone and everything, and you know, but personally, some time off can do good for him, you know, and I don't have a problem with it because I've done that many of times in the past, and I've done, as I said, I've done it many times in the past, and then I come back fresh and new and everything, and I don't have a problem with that. I really don't have a problem with that, and you know, but in light of all the backlash that he's been getting lately, um, plus also with some sponsors and some subscribers, um, leaving him. I mean, you know, doing, you know, do maybe he wants to reinvent himself, and there's not really a problem with it. So I don't have a problem. If this is true, I don't have a problem with it. It's just the fact that I just don't care. Um, because the fact that I feel like he still hasn't apologized for his behaviors in the past, and it's questionable. Um, and I think Logan Paul's um taking some time off as well too, and he's a person where I can't stand, and it's because of him that I haven't really had the gumption to even do a rant that I want to do, and I still want to do rants. It's just the fact that I just, to be quite honest with you, and I know I keep bullshitting on when I'm going to be doing the Donald Trump year in review. Is just the fact that I just been you know I just been burnt out, you know, and it's just like I feel like you know I kind of lost my edge after that rant I did about Logan Paul, because he really got to me, and suicide is a really serious thing, and I gotta tell you, you know and then we find out that um Andrew Bourdain, apparently from what I understand, that he did commit suicide, and not good, man. I mean, it's not good at all. And I don't want to see anybody killing themselves, because it's sad. It really is sad, and I don't want to see anything happen to anybody. I really don't. And you know, I really don't. But Logan still hasn't learned from his mistakes. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think he'll ever learn, because he's young and naive, and he's always going to be unprofessional. He's always going to be a jerk. He's always going to be heartless, and he's never going to change. And if I ever see him in public, I will legitimately I would spit in his face. I really would. Because and everybody said, well, you should still respect everybody. It's like, why should I respect somebody who thought a dead man who died from suicide be funny? How can I laugh? I mean, how can I respect somebody who gets kicks off of tasing a dead animal, let alone a rat? Where's the respect out of that? And you know what? I lost all respect to Roseanne Barr. And I know I come on the show, doing the playing the national anthem, and that does happen. She actually did do that, and I don't really feel like doing it tonight. I really don't, because I don't want to burn it out too much. Number one, like I have done with other disgraced celebrities, like you know, with other topical names, like Ashley Madison on the with the top five, or the Cash Me Outside chick. That's pretty much worn its welcome. And it's like, I don't know. I really don't know. I think I just, lately I just feel like I've lost faith in humanity because of the fact that, that a lot of people, big name people, are just becoming assholes. You know, and I mean, Logan Paul has a fan base, and good for him. It's like, so does my ceiling fan. Has a fan base, because how else am I ever going to turn that on? That's why you probably hear it in the background and the shadowy figure of the blades. For without that fan base, and but at the same time, but with PewDiePie, it's like, yeah, he fucked up, but still, I don't trust him. I had that mentality. Is like but maybe some time off will do wonders for him this time, because it's not the first time he's taken some time off, but I feel like he may eventually just call it quits, but I don't know. But if he is calling it quits, then that can leave doors open for younger talent to be like, okay, some fresh YouTubers who only has like 75 subscribers, who's been around for a few years, several actually, and wants to continue making a name for himself. And yes, Susie, I'm talking about me. You're a wonderful Tom dog. You know, I should have a cup. I should have a cup with me that says, "Will YouTube for money." That's actually me. I should have like a little sign that says, "Will YouTube for money." I should. Who knows? Maybe I'll get some subs probably. Come on, Susie, give me some of that money. I mean, cut me some slack here. I'm doing the best I can. She'll probably be like, "Well, your best ain't good enough." Being a little sassy, aren't we, Susie? Mm-hmm. Oh man. But but I think it's time that I think it's time that we push the envelope a little bit more and do the top 5. And this one is pretty much a no-brainer. Of course, we all know what happened with Chris Hardwick, and I don't want to repeat this on this episode again for those of you who missed it. You can check it out immediately after this camera turns off. But to summarize, his ex-girlfriend is chiming in about his behavior towards her when they were dating, and it was not pretty. Some abuse going on there. So, and of course he was pulled from everything that he was affiliated with, you know, ComiCon and the Talking Dead on AMC and all the other stuff. So, with that in mind, we have the top 5 things that Chris Hardwick will be doing now that he's not with AMC or ComiCon. So here we go. At number 5, he pisses in a jar of vinegar. Now, let me tell you something, which is why I said that. Because I was driving with my father. By the way, happy Father's Day to you fathers out there, and happy Father's Day to my father, Wrestling Prime Hall of Famer, Da Bear. And of course, everybody knows about, you know, his cancer and everything like that, and I still wish him the best, you know, my father the best of luck in that. And he is fighting it. He really is. But so he had an appointment today, and so I was with him, and we decided to take the long way home. You know, take a nice scenic route home, and it was a nice ride. And on the way, there was this field, you know, the field and everything like that, and it legitimately smelled like piss and vinegar. Now, I know what piss smells like, and I know what vinegar smells like. And those two together does not smell good at all. And it literally smelled so bad. It smelled so bad that a skunk would vomit. That's how bad it smelled. So that's why I put that at number 5, because it needed some explanation. But here's one thing that won't need explanation, unless it turns into a sex crime. And that's number 4, become a high school janitor. They have summer school. By the way, congrats to the grads of 2018. Number 3, he works for Donnie Chump's cabinet, then gets fired. I don't know. I mean, Donald Trump is firing people left and right. Number 2, he watches The Talking Dead being hosted by Christopher Plummer. And the number 1 thing that he'll be doing now that he is jobless, he will be flipping burgers at IHOB. I swear, that's a stupid name. International House of Burgers. International House of Bullshit is more like it. I finally saw a commercial for that, and it was horrible. It was like, we're catering to burgers now, and he falls off the roof. And I'm like, why did he survive that? I don't know. But physics, gotta love it. But anyways, that was your top five. Top five. Top five. Chris Hardwick never made it out alive. Doing the top five. Oh, and before we do the whole jumping the Karuma off the armored Karuma off the Chiliad, we forgot to do a moment of silence. We got to do that for Guitar Murphy, who passed away. Where is it? Probably under music. So apparently there's an epileptic seizure warning going out to Incredibles 2. So be careful with that. And you fans of Rich the Kid is hospitalized after an alleged home invasion. Matt Guitar Murphy, he passed away yesterday at the age of 88. And for those of you who don't know, he's a legendary jazz guitar. He's a legendary blues guitarist, and which earned him the moniker of Guitar Murphy. He was so good with the guitar, and best known for his guitar stylings in the Blues Brothers Band. So we do got to do a moment of silence for him because he is really, really awesome. So here we go. Little moment of silence for Matt Guitar Murphy. All right. So, alright, so let's go ahead and launch this car, see how durable this is. I swear to God, if that was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. Apparently there's some parts missing on the vehicle. Oh, the bumper came off. Here we go. Oh. Oh. Oh no, it's caught. Oh my god, it's caught. It's caught. I think this could actually blow up. It's legitimately gone. I'm not moving the controller or nothing. See? Look. Oh no. This could end badly. Oh man, that sucks. Alright, let's take a look at the damage. Alright, some lights coming up. So there it is, right there. More of a front end damage. Yeah, pretty much a front end job right there. Not too much in the back. Imagine it got caught on the front end though. I think that would have been a lot funnier. I probably would have blown up. See if that hot rod is there. Sell it. Do a little preempting it. Oh, almost ran over the cop. Or the rent-a-cop, I should say. So much for that. Well, anyways, that's all the time I have for it this evening. Hope you all had a good time, and we will see you all again here next week. And you be sure to follow me on Twitter at TomDog247. Keep up to date of what I'm doing and everything like that. Definitely worth checking out. Also, if you missed any of tonight's episode, you can check this out immediately after the camera goes off. And thumbs up if you like the video. Ringy dingy that bell, and more importantly, more than anything in the world, and I would gratefully appreciate it, face hug that subscribe button. So we will see you on Thursday. Till then, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace.